una sombra sobre Mondstadt. Regresa a Mondstadt. Vale. Pues ese es el objetivo. Y ahora, como hemos alcanzado el nivel 10, han aparecido nuevas misiones. Entonces ahora hay que regresar a Mondstadt sin miedo. Y ya está. Vale, regresa a Mondstadt, aquí estamos. Eso parece.
Seems she's talking to someone. Let's let her finish, then go say hi.
Which is what has brought us to this point in the first place. If you are unable to promptly deal with the storm terror threat, then leave the defense of Mondstadt to the Fatui. We can put an end to Mondstadt's dragon issues. All we need to do is bring that monster to the...
Monster?
Yes. What's your point?
I'd expect a more professional attitude from your diplomats. Yet here you are saying you want to put an end to one of the four winds of Mondstadt? I won't have any of this nonsense in front of the Knights of Favonius.
It's not as crazy as you make it sound. Fine. That's enough negotiation. At this stage, it's simply an amicable exchange of constructive opinions. No? I'll be sure to make...
Madre mía, aquí la Anastasia.
Oh, you're back. Thanks for your help. The elemental flow is finally stable. The aftermath of Storm Terror's last attack is finally settled for the moment. However, the pressure from the delegation has become too big to be ignored.
Delegation? From Liyue Harbor or Inazuma City?
Snezhnaya. They choose to follow the god of Cryo. Their envoys go by a particular name, the Fatui. Heard of them?
Oh, them? They're super famous. Wait, infamous is more the word.
I don't think killing Storm Terror is the right course of action. The Cryo gods Fatui have always coveted the Animo god's power. I don't believe they have Mondstadt's best interests at heart.
Ahora que hablas de poder...
What is it?
Hay algo que quisiera mostrarle a los caballeros de Favonius.
Let us head back to headquarters then. We shouldn't discuss important matters out in the open.
Sí, tienes razón. Por un mañana sin lágrimas. Prólogo acto 2.
Mondstadt and Snezhnaya are considered the same in status. Mondstadt is independent and does not belong to any other nation. In fact, despite being referred to as a city, Mondstadt is a nation. Though, Snezhnaya's Fatui are known to be the most aggressive diplomats in Teyvat.
Makes sense given the tone of that woman just now. So rude.
Tenía que haberme dejado la experiencia que le sobraba para que la suba manualmente, pero bueno. A ver. Bueno, vamos a mirar la misión, que no se me olvide. Una sombra sobre Mondstadt. O sea, una sombra sobre Mondstadt. Por un mañana sin lágrimas. Es prólogo acto 2. A tope, en la sede de los caballeros de Favonius.
Crystal embedded with some kind of power. Lisa, are you able to analyze it?
Let me take a look. I can see impurities in the crystal, but upon further inspection... No, I'm sorry. I can't make a proper analysis at the moment. Give me some time. I'll take a look through the library's restricted section.
Right. I'll leave the research to you then, Lisa.
Understood. I'll notify you all if I make any progress. Though, I wouldn't go getting your hopes up. They're incredibly ancient texts, not to mention... Ouch! Gosh, that hurt! The impurities in the crystal... It hurts when I get close. Oh, I see. It appears to react to visions. The impurities and the elemental energy we embody repel each other. It's strange, though. You have elemental abilities as well, but don't seem to be affected in the same way.
Soy especial.
Anyway, the crystal would be better left in the hands of my cutie. It will just be a pain if left with us, both literally and metaphorically.
Cariño.
Fascinating. Do you know anything about what makes you special? I do not know what to make of it either. Well then, the Knights of Favonius have another favor to ask of you. Please accept the title of Honorary Knight, and the gratitude of the Acting Grand Master.
Honorary Knight of Favonius?
We ask for your continued assistance in finding some answers. Storm Terror's rage, and strange crystals. I know Mondstadt's peace hangs in the balance. May the wind open your eyes to the truth. We'll meet back here if you find anything.
Sí, Jin, sí. Sí, señor. Vale. Encuentro inesperado. Sal de la sede de los caballeros de Favonius. Eso es muy complicado. Primero vamos a mirar. Conviértete en un caballero honorario, sí. Vale. Bueno, pues el objetivo ahora es salir de la sede. Hostia, eso es difícil, ¿eh? A ver. Ya está. Hemos superado la misión. Habla con Paimon. Pues ven aquí, Paimon.
There's something you didn't tell them. The dragon and the crystal weren't the only things we saw.
No se veía como una mala persona. Quiero investigarlo primero por cuenta propia.
So you do remember him, that green
sí.
guy. He looked just like that guy down there.
Pero si es el mismo. Pues tiene cierto parecido.
What?
Ay, qué bien. Busca a la persona sospechosa. Pues está por ahí. Bueno. Habla con Paimon.
That green guy disappeared. Use elemental sight to track him down.
Sí, busquemos pistas. Vale. Explorar los atributos elementales de objetos y seres cercanos. El hombre misterioso dejó huellas atribuidas a Nemo. Rastréalo. De acuerdo. Busca a la persona sospechosa utilizando la visión elemental. Vale. Pues tiene que ser por aquí. De momento sube. Sí, no te preocupes, juego.
His footprints lead to this wall. Did he climb up from here?
Vamos a por él. Busca a la persona. Sí, bueno, vamos a escalar. Bueno, no vamos a escalar. Vamos a subir por aquí tranquilamente. Vale, ha seguido subiendo. Interesante. Bueno, a lo mejor ha ido a la catedral. ¿Quién sabe? Solo os digo que esta persona es increíblemente importante e increíble a secas. ¡Toma! La persona de verde. ¡Ay, qué bien! Hola.
What is to be sung transpired in days of yore, when the divine archons still walked the earth. A dragon cast his curious gaze on the world below, as he parted from the heavens that gave his birth. The dragon sought truth amongst common folk, but mortal trifles only fogged his mind. The wind-born bard strummed his strings dulce, and the holy lyre answered his questions kind. The dragon was but a child, full of wonder, and soared the heavens free from care. The bard's songs invited him to sing along, for he yearned to let all perceive him fair. Enchanting legends the bard and dragon were, but the tides of despair soon engulfed the land. The lion fang perished, and the falcon flag slept, as a vile dragon approached Mondstadt in lone stand. Over the cathedral loomed death and his friends. Of the people's agony, the bards soon sang. The soaring dragon heeded his grave calls, and amidst the windstorms a brutal war sprang. Blood of venom sent the sky dragon into slumber, only to awake to be expelled in abhor. Why do people in this age loathe me so? But the holy liar replied no more. Wrath and woe, vigor and venom, poured from the dragon's bitter eyes. The dragon's curse sprawled in silence, but the liar could no longer soothe his cries.
Wait, you guys are...
Buah, tremenda historia.
Oh,
Hola.
that's right. You're the ones that scared Dvalin away. Dvalin? Who's that?
Es el verdadero nombre de Storm Terror.
Oh, right! Most people seem to call him Storm Terror. Why do you call him that? Are you two meant to be close or something?
Oh, so close.
Hey, so... Paimon thinks this guy has a screw loose.
Disculpa, ¿quién eres?
I'm Venti the Bard. 3-time winner of the most popular bard of Mondstadt to be... So, what do you need from me?
Given you recognize us, Paimon doesn't believe we need to explain any further. Of course it's about Storm Terror!
Storm?
Hey! Cut it with the Amnesia Act! Alright, show it to him.
Oh, isn't this...
What? The crystal has been purified? When?
La última vez que lo vi estaba lleno de impurezas.
Dvalin, the anguish he feels has brought him to tears.
Tears?
He was once such a gentle child, now so full of rage and suffering. I also came across a teardrop crystal. Can you purify it?
Buah.
You really do have some wonderful abilities. Someone like you is going to end up getting written into a bard's poem.
Oh, a hero so bright should she stand in the light, though stand in the shade, and you'll be met by a blade.
Alas, I've really not the time to compose a melody for you at this moment. Anyway, even if Dvalin is not taken down, his life will still wither away in the breeze. He'll burn himself out in the flames of anger.
Vale, a ver, te sugiero, vale, yo también siento compasión por Dvalin.
Thank you for that, and for purifying the teardrop crystal. But I have my own plans for what is to follow.
Oh? And what plan would that be?
Seeing this tear has brought to mind a friend so dear.
Friend?
One must be going.
Hey, where are you running off to?
To the symbol of Mondstadt's hero. Bye-bye.
Pues nada, amigo.
Huh. What do you make of that?
Es muy extraño, tenemos que
As
vigilarlo.
far as he's concerned, you're a weirdo too, you know.
Además,
Know what?
su voz me suena familiar. Perfecto, la persona de verde completada.
I don't know. You're alone on that one. But did he just say symbol of Mondstadt's hero? Oh, Paimon knows! It's that huge tree!
Sí,
You know, the gigantic one. You can't miss it. Surely you still remember.
sí, el del levantamiento. Vamos a ver el objeto que nos ha dado, que es un objeto importante. Lágrima limpia de Dvalin, interesante, ¿vale? Pues ahora el siguiente objetivo será, dentro de que el viento te guíe, ir al levantamiento, pues que no está lejos, está aquí, al lado del punto este. Venti, bonito.
Oh? What are you doing here? Though I was just wondering if you would happen to follow me.
Quisiera saber más sobre el dios
You
Anemo.
speak of the god of Anemo, Barbados? He already disappeared from Mondstadt a long time ago. Liyue and Inazuma's respective gods of Geo and Electro are still present, but Mondstadt has seen many a moon since they last saw their own god. Why do you wish to know about the god of Anemo? Does it have something to do with Dvalin?
Oh, it's because gods...
Nos han contado sobre el pasado
Just
del
how is
dragón.
it that everyone sees Storm Terror? I'm quite curious. That said, there's no need to rush. I have not been back in a while. It seems there are a few who are unhappy with my arrival.
Oye, ¿qué pasa aquí?
The wind! I can't open my eyes! What is a creature like that doing out here in such a cold
Vale,
place?
cuidado.
You think it was going after that green guy?
Sí, ahora te hace el ataque
His
este.
relationship with the wind seems even deeper than yours.
Bueno, pues nada, de momento Lisa, si tengo que subir de nivel a alguien más, va a ser a Lisa, la verdad. Si tengo que fortalecer a alguien, de momento con lo que tenemos, a Lisa. Nada, esto no le hace daño, porque es inmune. Pero a veces sí que he conseguido hacerle daño, ¿eh? No sé por qué, a veces sí, a veces no, pero bueno. Lo mejor es hacerle ataques normales con la espada y punto. Poquito a poquito. No hay prisa. Bien. Bien. Vale, pues bien, ya le queda poquito. Claro, importante para este tipo de enemigos tener a alguien que ataque a distancia, como Lisa, como Amber. No le he dado, cerdo. Ah, baja, que te doy un toquecito más. Y como nuevo. Va. Vale, cuidado ahora. Vale, habla con Venti.
Seems the dragon wasn't the only thing affected by this change in the wind. Now then, you were saying someone had told you about the dragon?
Correcto.
Is that so? Quite the scholar, I must say that, Lisa. She's not wrong. The conflict has reached this point only because both sides have resorted to the use of force. His hate, however, did not arise from the people not making tribute to the Four Winds, nor was it born from his own nature, but instead came about as a product of his
Degradation?
The black blood flowing through his heart has been torturing him for years. That's what has allowed him to be led astray by the lies of the Abyss Mage.
Creo que voy a hablar de ellos en Mondstadt.
Correct. They are from the Abyss Order, an organization comprised of non-human beings. They despise mankind. I don't know where they come from. All I know is that they hold deep hatred toward the human world. Many hilly trolls out in the wild take orders from them and act as their weapons. Before arriving here, I too was like Dvalin, cursed and left to waste. But now, before us stands the symbol of Mondstadt's hero, the place from which Mondstadt rose. The wind amongst the branches is good. I love the way it smells. Being here with you beneath this great tree feels like when the tear was purified earlier. Like the poison is leaving my body. Feels much better.
So, how exactly did you get poisoned?
That would be because I tried to communicate with Dvalin earlier, but was interrupted. As a result, not only did I not manage to help Dvalin break his curse, but instead was also infected myself.
Yo te envenené.
Yes, it was you.
Vaya cara.
So to make up for it, you're coming with me to the cathedral.
The Mondstadt Cathedral? To do what exactly?
To claim a certain holy lyre de Himmel.
La Lira Sagrada, bien. Vale, pues siguiente misión. El plan de Venti. Sigue a Venti hasta la catedral. De acuerdo, no hay misterio ahí. Volvemos a la catedral. Ahí está Venti.
So this holy lyre de Himmel is...
One of the most treasured items in Mondstadt. It's the lyre that Barbados used to play. With it, perhaps I can help Dvalin draw his gentle nature back out of this nightmare he's going through.
Will it really stop Storm Terror from causing more damage?
Of course! I'm the best bard in the world. There's not a single song I do not know, no matter if it's from the past, present, or future. Look me in the eyes. Do you not find me trustworthy?
El color de tus ojos me recuerda al cielo de mi tierra natal.
That one doesn't work on a bard.
So how can we get the holy lyre?
It's said that it's enshrined deep within the cathedral, somewhere safe. I'll go take a look around. You can come if you want.
Sí, claro, ¿por qué no? Ya que estamos juntos en esto, Venti, pues vamos juntos. Vale, pues habla con Venti, que está aquí dentro. Bueno, aquí está Super Venti.
Let me handle this. Hello there, sister.
May the Animo God bless you, young bard. How can I help you?
Actually, I know a secret that can save Mondstadt from its current predicament.
Oh, what a blessing from the god of Animo. But you should report that to the Knights of Favonius. Why have you come to me?
Because you, dear sister, are able to help. I'd like to borrow the Holy Lyre. With it, I'll be able to help Storm Terror.
Please see yourselves out.
What?
It's a vicious dragon indeed, but once the acting Grandmaster makes up her mind, nothing can stand in the Knight's way.
That's simply not acceptable. Wouldn't Storm Terror end up getting killed that way?
That foolish beast betrayed the winds. Not even the god of Animo themselves would forgive it.
Please, I beg of you.
I'm afraid not, little bard. Strange. Somehow I feel so bad rejecting this sweet child.
Then, I guess I'm left with no other choice. I cannot hide anymore. My disciples, rejoice! Behold, the god of Animo, Barbados, has descended. Shocked, aren't you? Don't you just want to cry out and rejoice? How does it feel to finally meet the god you've been serving?
If there's nothing else, I'll be going back to handle the cathedral's paperwork now.
Wait!
Y no le cree. Qué bueno. Pobre Venti, está triste. Vamos a hablar con él.
Huh? She didn't even bat an eyelid. But I have at least learned what I wanted to know. She didn't deny that the cathedral is enshrining the Holy Lyre. Now, since you're the hotshot of the Knights of Favonius, maybe you can give it a shot.
Sí, bueno, no sé. Habla con la monja. Vale, aquí hay algo. Sí, pero no se puede entrar nunca.
Barbados, bless you.
Soy Solid Snake, el caballero honorario de
I
Favonius.
know you. You and Amber saved Mondstadt that day. So what brings you here? Tasks from the acting Grandmaster.
Los caballeros de Favonius se ven en la necesidad de requisar la Lira
Is
Sagrada.
that so? Not that I don't trust you. It's just that a suspicious bard came looking to borrow the Holy Lyre as well. He's full of nonsense and even called himself Barbados. He must be up to something. There are regulations in place for the use of the Holy Lyre. Currently, it's only used in Ludi Harpastum. Signed documents from the Grandmaster, Seneschal, and community representative are all required. So, may I see the document from the Knights of Favonius?
Paimon se la comió en el camino.
Hey!
A signed document is required. Without it, there's not much I can do. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really am quite busy as of late.
Buah. Bueno, por lo menos una cosita menos. El nuevo plan de Venti. Habla con Venti.
Oh, it didn't work. I knew it.
You knew it?
I just wanted to know how influential the hotshot of the Knights of Favonius is. You see, the best warrior should always be presented with the best sword. And yet here we are. Does the story not make for a fitting ballad?
So what are you trying to say? That we're not good enough?
No, that's not it. More of a commentary regarding Mondstadt's inability to see the warrior standing right before its very eyes. Very well. Looks like borrowing it is not going to be possible. We're simply going to have to steal it. Today we stand for free will. Any suggestions on just how we steal it? Come now, speak up. That's what free will is for.
No quiero robar.
Look at you, sidetracked from the start. But seriously, you're more suitable for the job than I. Aside from singing, I don't really have any other talents. Besides, if I was caught, I'd have no one to right the grave injustice of my arrest.
How can it be a grave injustice if you got caught stealing red-handed?
But things are different for you. You are the superstar of the Knights of Favonius. Should you get caught, you would easily be able to talk your way out of it. The guards here, it seems they're off duty throughout the night. If we manage to seize this opportunity, it should be smooth sailing from here.
Bueno.
Stop mentioning us getting caught!
What do you say?
Acabas de decir que eres barbaco.
Yes. Seems I did mention that. Your point being?
Si de verdad eres un dios, no podemos abandonarte así sin
Why
más.
does your decision hinge upon whether or not I am a god?
Paimon will fill you in on her background story when we get the time.
Aunque no seas un dios, pienso rescatar a Dvalin.
Huh?
Te traeré a Himmel. Vale. Para hacer avanzar el tiempo, abre el menú de Paimon. El menú de hora. Mueve la manecilla y ya está. Vale. Infíltrate en la catedral por la noche. Vale. Pues vamos a ver. Hora, aquí estaba. Pero si ya es de noche, ¿no? Bueno, vamos a esperar a que pase un día entero. Claro, porque si ya era las 4 de la madrugada, a lo mejor era un poco tarde. Entonces vamos a esperar a que se oscurezca, pues para el día siguiente ya. Vale. De todas formas... Ah, no recordaba que se podía. Vale, si hay que coger cofres, hay que cogerlos ahora. Si hay que coger cofres, hay que cogerlos ahora, ¿de acuerdo? Vale, entonces voy a seguir mirando, porque yo creo que por la izquierda... Ahí hay otro, hostia. Y no son cofres tontos, ¿eh? No, 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 no. No, no, no. Vale. Ahí hay otro. Bueno, lo de protogemas esta vez no lo veo, ¿eh? No veo que me las estén dando, pero bueno. Vale, parece que en este lado ahora no hay nada. Bueno. A ver. Ahí hay un pringao. La verdad, vale, antes de meterme ahí, quiero confirmar que no me dejo ningún cofre, pero es que igualmente siento que da igual eso al final, porque no me dan protogema. Vale, pues nada. Vale, tranquilo, pues nada, ya está. Yo creo que ya no hay ningún cofre más que coger. Pues para adentro, señores. Qué bonito esto, ¿eh? Os lo digo, muy bonito.
Who are you? She disappeared.
Freeze! What are you doing here?
No, run! Oh no! We're busted! Run!
What? Follow me.
Vale, cuidado porque viene un momento impresionantemente importante. Vale. Cuidado. Hay que hacer bien esto. Pum, pum, pum. Pum, pum, pum. Vale, sigamos con cuidado. Pum, pum, pum. Y llegamos hasta aquí. Sin miedo. Bien.
Master D-Luke, this is this week's accounts.
The disaster has greatly affected business.
Well, let's hope it all ends soon.
Hi! We'd like a seat at your, least conspicuous table.
The second floor has fewer customers. You'd be less conspicuous up there. But aren't you a bard? Why not sit front and center?
Let's save the paid performance for next time. We'll be heading up now. See you in a bit.
Bien.
Hey, keep an eye on them. There's something strange about that bard. I'll go ask around.
Ask who exactly?
The protectors of Mondstadt.
Buah. A ver, D-Luke, relájate, amigo. Escóndete en el segundo piso de la taberna. Vale. Vale. Pues parece que aquí no hay nadie más. Pues habrá que ir al segundo piso. Vamos a ver.
Master D-Luke, have you seen two thieves around?
What happened? Why have you mobilized so many guards?
Haven't you heard, Master D-Luke? Two thieves are trying to steal the Holy Lyre.
Huh? How odd.
Isn't it? The Holy Lyre is a treasure that was played by the god of animal themselves. Such a precious piece of cultural heritage.
Why would one want to steal something they can't sell off? Would pay better to steal from my sellers.
Huh?
Sorry, off topic. Believe they headed that way.
Understood. Thank you, Master D-Luke.
Bueno, pues ellos se piensan que hemos sido nosotros, pero no, realmente no. Aunque es como si lo hubiéramos hecho, porque era nuestro objetivo. A ver, habla con Diluc.
Today I think I'll have a glass of...
You can put down that bottle you stole from behind the counter.
something cold.
Right. I want answers.
Let me finish my drink first. I'll pay you. Well...
It's not about money. You seem too young to be drinking.
No need to worry. When I started drinking, you were still...
¿Qué tal si mejor respondes primero mi pregunta?
You want to ask, who's this? Am I right? He is Master Diluc, the boss of... the owner of this tavern. He's very famous. By the way, his dandelion wine is one of my favorites. Although most of the time I can only afford a bottle or two.
I just heard about some thieves from the guards. For the record, I like your guts for trying to steal the holy lyre de Himmel. Even if you are fools. But we don't often get to see people like you.
It wasn't us that stole it. The real thief is still out there.
This is the hotshot of the Knights of Favonius. Why would someone so aspiring steal Mondstadt's sacred treasure?
Hotshot? Oh, so it's you. So, you and the bard are close friends?
Bueno, solamente lo escuché tocar una vez.
Despite only being a passing traveler, you still offered your help to Mondstadt in its time of need. A shame you joined the Knights. The Knights of Favonius. Inefficient right from beginning to end. And towards the Fatui? Weak and conservative. Forget it. I don't feel like talking about it.
Seems you don't really like the Knights of Favonius.
Just differences in approach is all. I have my own hopes for this city. Now, answers. Why did you steal the holy lyre?
You sure you want to know? It could implicate you in the affairs of the Knights of Favonius.
That's fine. I somehow always end up implicated in their affairs.
If I tell you the story with a performance, will you believe me?
It depends. I'll make my own judgment.
Then will I get paid?
Your reward will range from anywhere between 5 mora and the holy lyre. It all depends on your story.
Very well. Let me put on a show.
Buah, veamos. Bueno, lo podéis leer.
What did I just witness?
Y ya está, qué largo. Lo que acabas de contar.
This is confidential information. Why did you let me know?
Why? Perhaps the winds are changing. What say you, Master Diluc?
Interesting. Give me some time. I'll organize some contacts. Outlander, as one of the knights, it seems you're not a suspect. Blonde is the only description on the wanted poster. You should be safe. As for the bard, however, it'd be better if you stayed in the tavern.
No problem. I like taverns.
Okay. Let's meet here tonight after the tavern closes.
Vale, pues a la noche, ¿no? Dilemas caballerescos. Un momento, vamos a mirar rápidamente esto. Fracasaste al pedir prestada la reliquia sagrada. ¡Oh! ¡Qué lástima! Vale, sal de la taberna. ¿Ah? Ese es el objetivo. Vale, espera que la taberna cierre. De 12 a 6. Pues nada. Vamos a adelantar esto hasta las 12. Aproximadamente hasta ahí. Y se acabó. Qué bonito. Esto de adelantar el tiempo, cuidado. Quizás hasta tenga consecuencias. A ver. Vale, pues ya está. Regresa a la taberna. A ver qué pasa ahora. Sí.
Wait, you're...
¿Qué hace la gran maestra intendente aquí?
First of all, I contacted more than one person. Secondly, she came here as Jean herself, not as the acting grandmaster. A Jean you would never see, even as an honorary knight.
What a surprise. I heard about the Holy Lyre, but I never suspected it was you. So, the sound of the Holy Lyre can purify storm terror and return it to normal? Is that true?
That's right. Your honorary knight is putting themselves on the front line to try and resolve this storm terror issue. Now that's the hotshot of the Knights of Favonius I'm talking about.
Feels like we're breaking the law, though.
I understand this kind of absurd explanation is hard to believe. But we can ask the bard to play the song again to try and persuade...
I believe you.
To persuade our stubborn command... Wait, What?
I can't think of any reason for Dvalin's betrayal, given it was once one of the Four Winds. However, if it was poisoned in the battle over Mondstadt all those years ago, and then corrupted by the Abyss Mage after it woke up, we can't really blame it. But as acting Grandmaster, I obviously cannot make such a statement publicly. Diplomatic pressure from the Fatui makes it hard for us to seek a peaceful resolution to the Storm Terror issue. People would think I've lost grip on the gravity of the situation. That's why I can only do this in private.
That's one of the reasons I don't like the Knights of Favonius. What surprises me is that you would believe in Outlanders so easily.
My cautious and meticulous superior, even you trust him, don't you, sir?
I already told you not to call me sir. Never mind. We don't often get to work together after all.
Superior. Nadie quiere decir nada.
Wow. This is really awkward.
I have a rough idea of where the Holy Lyre de Himmel is.
Nice recovery. She's really talented at changing the subject.
The conflict between Mondstadt and Snezhnaya stems from the conflict between the Seven Nations and their respective gods. The cryo-gods Fatui seem to be after the animo-gods' power.
Entonces van a encargarse de la defensa de Mondstadt. Entonces quieren matar a Dvalin.
Right. If the Knights of Favonius publicly prevented an attempt on Dvalin's head, then the only other way to affect the animo-gods' power is to take the Holy Lyre.
The number of Fatui that have come to Mondstadt is far from limited. I've already managed to coerce a few reports out of them.
Diluc has determined that the Holy Lyre is not being held in the Goth Grand Hotel. I imagine they don't want to leave something stolen in a place where it could be so easily found.
Paimon gets it. If too much of a scene gets made, then it becomes a big diplomatic issue.
Such is the diplomacy between the Seven Nations. Outlander, ready to go?
Siempre. De acuerdo, vamos. Misión
Jean just said
completadísima.
the Fatui are trying to take Dvalin's power for the Cryo God. I fear this might fall short of their true intentions. I think they intend to use Barbados' connection to the wind to draw him out. Just like Lisa traced the source of the storm to the temples.
The god of Animo? Hasn't been seen for more than 1,000 years. What makes you think that's their intention?
Oh,
Forget it. I don't like having to pry. Here, take this.
What is it?
A disguise to protect your identity. Put it on before you run into the Fatui. Unfortunately, there's still one of Mondstadt's allies. At least that's the facade we're maintaining. Our actions are going to get them stirred up. Better to not implicate yourself on a personal level.
Vale, pues eso está justamente ahí. No sé si dará tiempo a hacer mucho, pero lo vamos a intentar. Recuperar la Lira Sagrada. Nivel 23, pero bueno, tengo al 40 al viajero. Y de momento aprovechamos. Ahí está Diluc. Qué bien, un cofre. Vale. Bueno, pues a ver, ¿qué tal? El punto de resurrección. Vale, esto... Uf, esto va a ser complicado. Vale, esto creo que solo se... Ah, amigo. Creo que era con Kaya. Uf. Bueno. Qué bien. Hemos pasado eso, por suerte. Vale, un momentito. Aquí dentro hay algo. Efectivamente. Coño. Bueno, tenemos a Diluc, así que lo vamos a utilizar. Que es el 5. Buah. Qué pasada, ¿no? Bueno, los personajes que nos suelen permitir para probar están un poquito más por encima de nivel que nosotros, creo, incluso. Entonces, claro, son muy fuertes. Pero Diluc es un personaje bastante bueno. Nunca lo he conseguido en ninguna de mis cuentas. Vale, espera. Ay.
Don't eat me! You're human? The entire floor's defenses have been broken. I thought it was the Abyss Order attacking.
Hemos venido por la Lira Sagrada.
How did you guys know the liar's here? The place it's being kept is locked up tight. If you're after the key, keep going further into the ruins, but don't come after me. I don't know which one of the guards has it, but I'm sure you can find the guards and find out for yourselves.
This guy looks like he's about to wet himself.
You just worry about yourselves. One of the 11 is already in Mondstadt. Signora, when she gets her hands on you, she's gonna string you up and torture you. When that time comes, don't you dare say a word about me.
Buah. Cuidado con eso, Vale.
Did he say Senora? What a strange name.
Number 8 of the 11 goes by the name Senora. The fact that the Fatui can run amok across the 7 nations like they do is entirely because of the 11. We need to act quickly before she gets wind of what's going on.
Pues sí, ese nombre es importante, O sea, yo os recomiendo que no lo olvidéis. Porque realmente es jodidamente importante. Vale, uno de estos tiene la llave. Guardián codicioso. ¿Quién eres tú?
How'd you get in here?
Somos embajadores de buena voluntad de la sociedad Snezno Mondstadt.
Never heard of that association before. What are you lot doing here?
Queremos pedir prestada a la Lira Sagrada. Bueno, estamos aquí para hacer cosas de buena voluntad.
Oh? Keep talking. You're here for the lyre, aren't you? And just how do you plan to borrow it?
¿Qué tal 500.000 moras? ¿Y si te recomendamos como miembro honorario de la sociedad? Ten una manzana.
Think you can look down your nose at me, huh? The will of Snezhnaya is as solid as the permafrost. I will not yield.
Vale, pues no cedas. Aquella de allí, Se parece a la que robó la Lira. ¿Qué coño te crees tú? Brujita. Bueno, ya recordad a este monstruo porque lo veremos muchas veces durante el juego. No en la historia principal, sino en cualquier parte. ¿Dónde coño está? Aquí.
Look at me. He says the key isn't here. Shall we try another room?
Sí, habrá que intentarlo. No te preocupes, Paimon. En algún lado estará. Vale. Puede que esté aquí. Vale. Hay que matar a estos bichitos. Son los que más nervioso me ponen porque son muy pesados. No paran de moverse.
Seems like we've turned this room inside out, but no key. Time to move on to another room.
Vale, voy a mirar arriba si hay algo. No sé lo que va a durar el vídeo al final, pero quiero mirar bien las cositas. Esto está cerrado. Y no hay cofres por ahí. Creo que no. Vale, no tenemos la llave para utilizar ese mecanismo de momento. Vale, parece que no hay nada por allí. Y por allí tampoco. A ver aquí. Guardián, o sea, guardia cobarde, guardián no.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Ríndete, nadie vendrá a rescatar.
Did you already beat all the other guards?
Pateé sus gélidos traseros.
What? I'm not scared of you. A debt collector will come to my aid.
Ya me hice cargo de él.
Fine. Not like I have a choice anyway. All right. You're free to go. But I don't have the key, unfortunately. You'll have to ask the next guard you come across.
Bueno, entonces este nada, ¿no?
Get out of here.
Vale, va.
He says the key isn't here. Shall we try another room?
Hostia, ¿y
There's
ese?
one room left that we haven't tried. Surely the key must be in there.
Sí, queda una habitación, pero no sé si se podía liberar a ese. Vale, arriba nada. Entonces tiene que ser aquí. Uf, cuidadito, Nada, una papata. O sea, papata, muy bien. Y aquí tenemos una zanahoria. Vale, aquí lo ideal sería utilizar, yo creo que, al viajero. Bueno, con el ataque de Diluc, aunque sea normal, siempre vamos a sacar más. Porque está muy fuerte. Súper fuerte. Vale, aquí arriba hay otro brillo. Abre la puerta. Ahora sí. Llave oculta. Una llave que alguna vez perteneció a los Fatui. Buah, cuidado. Parece que ahora sí. Claro, todas estas puertas que están cerradas supongo que van a permanecer cerradas. Bueno, pues activemos esto. A ver quién es el jefe de este lugar, porque tenemos ya la ulti preparada.
Where did you rats scurry out from? Señora's not going to tolerate this kind of interference in our affairs.
No hay que
So
acercarse
I'll be
ahora.
the one to take care of you. Save her the trouble of having to deal with you herself.
Vale, voy a intentar utilizar la Q ahora.
Retribution!
Bien. Madre mía, qué paliza. Nivel 23 el jefe. Pero aquí realmente lo ideal es utilizar a Diluc y sin pensárselo, ¿eh? Y catapum. Este es el Fatui Zamenhof, se llama. Bueno, vaya nombres. Bien.
Can't run from death.
Vale, pues parece que esta parte hecha. Habla con Paimon.
Finally, the lyre is back in safe hands. Where did that guy go, though? He was here a second ago.
Senora is going to end you. The songs bards sing of your demise will be so terrifying. The people of Mondstadt will never sleep again for the nightmares they give them.
Big talk for a guy who still ran off in the end. Chicken.
Ja. Chicken. Vale. La lira sagrada la tenemos ahí. Vale, pues trae la lira sagrada. Vale, pues no hay nada más. Vamos a mirar la lira. Qué bonito, ¿eh? Un tesoro que pertenecía a Barbatos, el Arconte a Nemo. Pero su poder a Nemo se ha agotado. Pues de regreso a la taberna.
This is the holy lyre. You managed to retrieve it. The pattern of flowing wind carved on the rosewood, and the strings still feel cool to the touch, too. The memories.
What do you think, Venti? Can you summon Dvalin?
Although this lyre is the real thing, I doubt that it's going to work. As you can see, the lyre has been through 1,000 years of history. Its animal power has run dry. In this condition, you couldn't play music fit for even Diluc's tavern with it.
Bards fight to get on the stage of my tavern. Don't make assumptions.
Is that really important right now, Master Diluc? And you! Did you just borrow the holy lyre to play music for drunkards to hear? What do you mean?
Anyway, we won't be able to call Dvalin with it. The lyre itself is fine, but the strings... You're up, Outlander.
No se arreglan instrumentos.
Relax, it's not broken. It's just that the intensity of its animal power has greatly diminished. Do you still have Dvalin's teardrop crystal with you?
Efectivamente.
Great! Try to use it on the holy lyre.
Venga, no hay problema. Uy. Qué guay.
It worked as expected.
This youthful glow.
Praising yourself? Really?
I was talking about the holy lyre.
Thanks to our traveler friend having purified the crystal, the holy lyre won't continue to lose power. That said, its power is far from replenished. It'd be great if we could get more tears.
¿Cómo podemos hacer que Dvalin llore?
I
¿Pegándole?
can surmise that Dvalin will already be crying, suffering alone in some deserted place.
Dvalin.
Poor baby.
This is not something that an honorary knight can accomplish alone. I will mobilize the rest of the knights to assist. When you get the teardrop crystal, please let our honorary knight perform the purification process.
Está bien.
Heroes supporting each other and setting out on a journey together. How exciting! Let me come up with a song for you.
Is that all you're going to do? Just sing?
Wouldn't be much of a bard if I didn't, now would I?
You're so cheeky. You deserve an ugly nickname. Oh, Paimon knows. From now on, you'll be known as Tone Deaf Bard.
Vale, muy bien, Paimon. Y ahora sí.
This search reminds me of a feud I once had with the Fatui. 6 months ago, a thief stole treasure from the East Temple of the Four Winds.
Whoa, what was it? A cup used by Barbados?
No. Although, if such a thing existed, it would be very valuable. Among all the relics they managed to dig up, one particular object was very rare. It was a vial which contained the Animo god's breath.
Relics come in every shape and form, huh?
Anyone with an eye for fine art would like to add this relic to their collection. Once word got out, the Fatui started trying to seek it out as well. They've made tons of counterfeits that can be found everywhere. In response, I just bought every one I could find, irrespective of its authenticity. We're still at it now. I've bought more than 2,000 fakes to date, and the Fatui are yet to find the real one.
Whoa, you guys are insane. So it means the real one must be out there somewhere on the black market, right?
You are a close friend.
Paimon will give you a discount on them if she finds any, because Paimon's just great like that.
Sure, you can try to find the real one. I'll take what you find, even if they're fake. Once you're done, find me at the winery. I'll trade you a beer for every 20 you find.
Interesante. Vale, en cuanto al objeto es la lira. Muy bien. Y ahora la misión. Por un mañana sin lágrimas. Tenemos lágrimas derramadas, ocultas o robadas. Tenemos que dirigirnos pues a 3 lugares. Y vamos a ir primero pues al primero, que está justamente ahí. Vale, por ahí he visto que tengo marcado otro cofre. Derrota al guardián de las ruinas para completar el reto. Ay, no. Bueno, este guardián de las ruinas tenemos que dispararle al ojo, que me han dado un logro respecto a eso. Ya luego os lo muestro. Es lo ideal realmente hacer esto. Hay que apuntarlo bien. Vale, con cuidado. Algún día le daré. Debo tener una puntería de culo, tío. Sería ideal, pero... Ahí le he dado. Uno. Falta otro golpe. Bueno, no pasa nada, poco a poco le daremos a este gamberro. Tío, estoy haciendo el ridículo, ¿eh? Joder, menos mal, colega. ¿Veis? Y así se queda así un ratito y nos da tiempo a intentar pues hacer cosas. Y así le sacamos vida jugando con los elementos. Vale, que me ha dado el pringao. Voy a intentar apuntarle otra vez ahí. Hay que aprovechar que se ha quedado quieto. Y otra vez. Son 2. Ya lo habéis visto. Bueno, ahora sí. Y ahora... ¡Pum! Nada. A espadazo limpio. Y se acabó. Consigo una lágrima de Baring. Vale, pues aquí nada. Supongo que el objetivo era derrotar a este.
Paimon didn't think we'd find the volunteers in a place like this.
As knights, we are taught to hone our investigative skills.
Wow! Very impressive.
Vale, lágrimas derramadas, ya está.
The secret to finding what you are looking for is to never look for it in the first place. Don't think too much about it and don't search too hard. And before you know it, what you're looking for will appear right before your very eyes.
What?
Don't worry about it too much.
The more flustered you become, the less likely you are to find it. Pay attention to what you see in your peripheral vision, and you might just stumble upon what you're looking for.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like that would work.
No, seriously, it does though. In fact, it's how I used to find my tortoise whenever he went missing.
Wait! You had a pet tortoise?
Yes, why? Something wrong, Paimon?
No, it's, well, just surprising is all.
Why?
Paimon can't imagine Jean having a pet tortoise. Surely you find it hard to imagine too, Master Diluc.
No, I don't. I had one too when I was a kid. What's so strange about it?
What? You too?
Bueno, pues ahora el objetivo es Lágrimas ocultas. Ve a las ruinas en el bosque, que esto está justamente aquí. Así que ahora vamos a ir hacia allí. Vamos a venir aquí, que no está lejos, además del punto de teletransporte. Vale, hay que entrar. Madre mía. Sí, ahí lo pone. El grupo llegó a las ruinas secretas escondidas en las profundidades del bosque en busca de las lágrimas de Balin. Pues nada, a tope, señores, sin miedo. Quiero hacer tiradas hoy, también. Derrota a los guardianes de las ruinas. Bueno, vamos a hacer eso, pero hay que mirar si... Mira, ahí hay un cofre. A ver, pringao. ¿Quién coño te crees tú? Fuera, suerte. No sé si me dan algún objeto por tirarlos. Creo que sí, antes al menos cuando los tirabas el objeto se quedaba abajo, pero ahora como que han cambiado eso y si se cae algún enemigo por algún sitio, el objeto te lo dejan arriba, donde estaba. Vale, y este parásito... ¿Quién se cree este pringado? Pedazo de pintamona. Venga. Otro cofre. Venga, a dormir. No sé si aquí arriba habrá otro cofre, pero lo voy a mirar rápido. No puedo escalar, vale. Y perfecto. A ver hasta dónde avanzamos hoy en esta misión, pero me gustaría llegar hasta el punto de teletransporte que tengo en mi cabeza. No literalmente, por favor, pero me gustaría llegar porque sería interesante, la verdad. A ver, payaso. Venga. Uf. Joder, qué pesados, tío. Ahora todo el mundo me da. Pringaos, que sobre todo este es el que más asco me da, el cabrón este. Venga, ¿ahora qué? Cerdo. A ver, Lisa, vamos a pasarlo bien un poquito con Lisa, aunque no la tengo muy entrenada, pero al final Lisa con el agua revienta que no veas. Hay que aprovechar un poquito, porque encima como pillamos distancia, nos pilla bien. Vale, entonces hay que subir por esa corriente. Y yo creo que aquí no hay cofres, no parece. Vale, hay que escalar por ahí. Ahí hay un cofre. Y diría que solo ese. Bueno, dejadme que me ponga aquí. Bueno, va, tío, tira para adelante, coño. Es que encima es tonto, nene. Va justo al lado contrario donde tengo que ir. Bueno, hay que escalar por estos tablones, porque el tonto, pues de otra forma no sabe. Va, cáete. Yo vengo de ahí, ¿no? Vale, entonces hay que seguir escalando. Bueno, pues nada. Macho, las alas parece que no quieran funcionar, ¿eh? Vale, hay que ir... ¿Hasta dónde, coño? ¿Qué es? ¿Allí? Ah, pues es ahí. Un momento. Vale, de acuerdo. Punto de teletransporte, amigo. Vale, esto se mueve. Cuando quiera, ya se moverá. Y ahora el objetivo es llegar pues hasta allá arriba. Bueno, pero las ruinas en general hay algunas que están mejor que otras, pero se parecen mucho entre sí. Quizás esa, según yo, podría ser la parte más floja del juego. Bueno, a ver, ¿cuál se acerca hasta aquí? Vale, esta. Vale. Y ahora vamos a esperar a esa de allí. Bien. Gracias. Diría yo que sí, que el tema de las ruinas es la parte más flojita. Uf, cómo le he reventado a ese. Qué bonito, la verdad. Bueno, pues nada. No sé lo que va a durar. Este vídeo de la misión esta principal, la segunda misión de Arconte del juego, va a durar, va a durar bastante, ya os lo digo yo. Uy, este payaso. Joder, pringao que no. Con Lisa le podemos sacar bastante, la verdad, hay que aprovechar eso. ¿Es como baja la barra? Lisa suele ser muy buena en estos casos. Aunque calla también. Y el viajero, obviamente. Vale, ¿ahora qué, payaso? ¿Ahora qué? ¿A que no te lo pasas también ahora? Uf. Vale, pues ya está. Y se acabó el mago del abismo. Vale, esas plantitas explotan cuando nos acercamos. Hay que tener un poquito de cuidado. Vale, ¿ahora por dónde vamos? Ah, aquí arriba. Llegamos a la última zona. No hay nada más alrededor, ¿no? Parece que no. Es que hay que mirar bien, señores. Hay que mirar bien. Bueno, pues este es el cofre. Aquí estará. ¡Sí!
We're done gathering. That was hard.
It's too early to relax. We're still not done with Storm Terror. Besides, the Fatui could also be planning something.
Hay que tener cuidado. Tienes toda la razón.
Hey, Diluc. I heard that the Fatui have recently proclaimed you persona non grata.
What an honor. Nobody was ever proclaimed persona grata by the Fatui anyway.
The Fatui? The diplomatic delegation from Snezhnaya? What have they got against Master Diluc?
The Fatui are a problem not only for the Knights, they also present a real threat to the whole of Mondstadt. And when it comes to threats against Mondstadt, Diluc is...
That's enough, Jean. You Knights are subject to too many restrictions. You can't directly confront this so-called diplomatic scum. Personally, I despise them. If I were to choose between eating a cryo-slime alive or joining the Fatui, I'd prefer to be crushed to death by a meteorite.
Jeez, your wording is so very dramatic.
Vale, Lágrimas robadas. Dirígete a la tribu del eclipse en el valle de Adaupa. Pues vamos para allí. Abre el cofre para obtener la lágrima de Valen. Está arriba además. Este ya lo cogimos también. Vale, pues ya está. Dirígete al viñedo del amanecer, ponía. Vale. Pues una vez recuperadas todas las lágrimas, todas se reúnen una vez más. Pues vamos para el viñedo del amanecer, que está justamente aquí. Hola.
Let's put our crystals together. Oh. The color of these crystals looks muddy. Dvalin, you're going through so much pain. Let's start purifying these crystals first. Please, traveler.
Vale.
It is hard to believe such a thing is possible until you've seen it with your own eyes.
Interesting. It's like filtering wine. The process is refreshing.
I think we should have enough tears now. So next we... use the crystals on the holy lyre like last time.
De acuerdo, déjamela a mí. Uf, cuidado, ahora sí. Ahora sí.
It seems completely different from before.
The lyre's animo power seems fully restored. We should be able to use it now. It's all thanks to you.
Now, where should we summon Storm Terror? It must be away from the city, else there will be casualties should we fail.
Perhaps here at the winery?
If the winery was destroyed, it's not something I couldn't eventually fix. But I'd still rather not go through the hassle.
The wind that blows at sea or in high places should be able to carry a bard's words far away. It's never going to work if the air is too dry or suffocating.
Paimon understands sea or high places, right? Then the best location to play the lyre would be...
Mientras vuelas con estilo.
Even Amber would never think of doing such a thing.
If you go east from Starfell Lake, there are mountains south of the beach.
Oh, you mean that beach we were on when you told Paimon about your sister?
If you head to where the cliff juts out, that place is known as Star Snatch Cliff. What do you think, Bard? Meets the requirements, no?
Let me think. Star Snatch Cliff. All right, let's do it there.
Very well. Then let's meet at Star Snatch Cliff when we're ready. Please don't be late.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. I didn't mean to...
No te preocupes, Jin. De acuerdo, lágrimas de cristal. Completadísima. Nueva misión, un segundo encuentro. Vale. Vamos a mirar porque esto ya está reparado, ¿eh? Mirad qué bonita la lira, tremenda. Y ahora sí, un segundo encuentro. Gracias a las lágrimas de Dvalin, la lira sagrada ha recuperado su poder y está listos para purificar a Storm Terror. Entonces el siguiente objetivo está... pues ahí, perfecto. Vale, pues por fin llegamos. Acostado, ¿eh?
Everyone is finally here.
What a view.
Lovely for a fated reunion, isn't it? Well, we must be prepared for a fight.
Regardless of the outcome, things finally seem to be taking a turn for the better. Mondstadt has really been going through so much recently.
Huh. In the end, the solution to our problem was as simple as a traveler in a song. I suppose the Knights of Favonius may have played a part in it too.
Oh, we get it, Master D-Luke. Everyone, please step aside. I, the best wandering bard of the mortal world, shall begin my performance with the Holy Lyre.
Buah, esto debe ser tremendo.
Then why do I see sadness in your eyes? Sadness that speaks of your yearning for this song.
They are communicating. Huh?
No! Don't depart!
Do not be fooled by him, dear dragon. He left you to rot alone. Now he attempts to deceive you once more.
Barbados.
Let your wrath fester. Mondstadt has already turned its back on
You were planning this all along to have me slain?
No, listen to me!
The time has come for the dragon to serve its true master. While you beware your magnetic shadows, watch the world tremble with fear.
Dvalin.
Venti, please, be careful.
You've known my true identity for some time now, haven't you, Jean? Though, I thank you for continuing to use the name Venti.
How's the Holy Lyre? Can it still be played, or does it need to be repaired?
Unfortunately, I think it's beyond repair.
No podemos dejar que el mago del abismo se salga con la suya.
Right. If we don't fight the evil at its source, then we can't save Dvalin at all.
In which case, I shall call upon Outrider Amber to track it down.
No need.
Why is that?
I eradicated one not long ago, in one of the Four Winds temples.
What?
Es cierto.
When?
If you want to track those monsters down, then I'll seek answers from my contacts. I've got other means for getting the job done.
Diluc. Though he dislikes the Knights of Favonius, he protects Mondstadt in his own way.
Oh? Why does our little Paimon sound so doting all of a sudden?
Wait for my word.
Ah, qué bonita la cuesta
I'll
del
be
sol.
sure to let the Abyss Order know that their blatant disregard for Mondstadt will not go unpunished.
Buah.
Your Highness, your humble servant returns. When your homeland returns to this world, we shall revel in its glory.
No recordaba esa escena, os lo juro que no, ¿eh? Os juro que no recordaba esa escena. Bien, hemos superado la segunda misión de Arconte. Qué bonito. Recuerdo de los 4 vientos. Menudas recompensas, más bonitas. Obtenido. La lira sagrada dañada. Pedazo de recompensas. Y ahí está, la lira sagrada dañada. Completa por un mañana sin lágrimas. Ahora sí. Qué guay.